Number 1. DaySix Dungeon by JYP. While JYP Entertainment has been well known, or notorious to be exact, about how badly they mismanage boy groups, the company has literally pushed the extreme in everything when it comes to DaySix. Following the massive success of BTS's meal at McDonald's, JYP Entertainment has also started to extend onto the food and beverage industry by spending a bunch of money to open a pop-up cafe called JYP Japan Pop-Up Cafe 2021. In this event, JYP launched drinks and desserts that are designed specially to represent each group in the company: 2PM, Twice, Stray Kids, ITZY, and NiziU. You notice something? Well, it's the fact that DaySix was nowhere to be seen on the menu, while Mr. Pak even has one signature dish himself. Of course, it's not that big of a deal if this is the first time JYP forgets about DaySix. But according to the group's fans, My Days, the whole cafe thing is just the last straw because the company has never taken DaySix seriously. Not long ago, when Park Jin-young mentioned all artists of JYP, from Stray Kids, ITZY to Twice, he magically forgot that his company once debuted a band called DaySix. Though My Days have multiple times expressed their discontent about how JYP has been super frugal when it came to promoting DaySix, and also never let them attend variety or reality shows, the company still acted like things were fine and never bothered to take action. Witnessing the blatant discrimination of DaySix in broad daylight, not only fans of DaySix, but netizens also threw hands at the company. When a netizen tried to take an objective stance, she admitted that DaySix was dungeoned by JYP Entertainment. As this person said, obviously the group has never been a cash cow like Twice, but this sad reality mostly has never come down to DaySix themselves. Instead, it was how JYP put zero effort into pushing the coverage of DaySix, and literally debuted the group for fun. We agree that the group debuted as an indie boy band, and thus they must grow relying solely on their talents. But how could they be completely ignored even when they still sold out albums, tickets, and merchandise? Does that even make sense at all? Oh, and do you know why My Day said this was the last straw? And they wouldn't believe a thing even when JYP announced some real sensible excuses like they couldn't put up DaySix name since their contract in Japan expired? That was because in June 2020, which was exactly just 1 year ago, Jay had had so much that he eventually took his discontent to Twitter and vented out publicly. First, Jay said he had to put an end to his YouTube channel, J6, which you couldn't find now as it was deleted, just because the staff had the feeling he would worsen the image of the company. He also complained about how bad the management of JYP Entertainment was, when the official Twitter account of DaySix only updated about Young K and completely ignored his activities. If you think this was a mistake then based on his schedules, it didn't seem so because Jay has done quite a handful of activities, like his podcast, Waiting on Facebook, his collaboration with 88 Rising, and of course, his appearance at Dive Studios before Young K. And do you know what was the plot twist of this story? Well, Jay then issued an apology, saying that his piled-up anger was just a small misunderstanding between him and JYP, and fans shouldn't worry about them too much. Number 2. New East Dungeon by Pledis. Earlier this year, Loves Together started to trend the hashtag Pledis Stop New East Mistreatment to show how discontent they have been with the way Pledis completely dungeoned New East. If you've been a K-pop fan since Gen 2, you'll surely know how New East had one of the most successful debuts of all K-pop acts with Face. But just shortly after that, their reputation took a nosedive because Pledis simply ignored their strongest domestic fanbase, sent the group offshore for the longest time ever until their fandom became so small that New East was on the verge of disbanding. That's when the whole group, except for Aaron due to his health reasons, decided to join Produce 101 Season 2 to seek the last chance of going forward. Their hard work paid off, and they not only got public recognition, but also gained back tons of fans after the show. However, for some reason, the company continued to dungeon them. Many people in the industry have questioned the reason Pledis Entertainment didn't respond to them when they invited New East. And this thing would never be known by the public if the MC duo Kim Suk and Lee Young-ja of K-pop Star hadn't called out the company for ignoring their calls. Pledis was so determined with their efforts to drown New East that it was not until the Loves trended hashtags and mass-mailed the agency that they let the group appear at K-pop Star. In fact, it's not actually the company's decision, because JR revealed that he had to talk them into it. Oh, and can you believe the company even turned blind eyes on the invitation of the governor of Gangwon-do, who wanted JR to be the ambassador of the province? With such a huge opportunity intentionally missed out on, if Pledis wasn't trying to boycott New East, then what should that be called? Plus, their latest promotion, I'm in Trouble, only lasted for 2 weeks, with no social media promotions. Everyone knows how important the role of social media is in building a group's reputation, but still, here we had Pledis not posting anything about New East's comeback on their Facebook and Instagram accounts. Along with trending that hashtag, Loves even made a list clearly stating the demands they wanted Pledis to do. Because obviously those were what New East deserved, but no one can say for sure if the company bothered to care, let alone fulfill the list. Number 3. CLC Dungeon by Cube. While there's currently nothing controversial about the girls, like things with DaySix, fans of CLC have never been happy with the way Cube Entertainment treated the group ever since the debut day. As what was gathered by one of CLC's fans on Reddit, she believed the act has been completely ignored by the agency, since they couldn't blow up as big as 4 minutes. Firstly, the girls must always use their pocket money to promote overseas, and one of the greatest hits, Me, was still not put on US iTunes for the lack of support from Cube. Even when Hobgoblin was not welcomed by domestic audiences, but passionately embraced by international fans, the company still ignored that sign and put minimum effort into promoting the group. And you know what's worse? Although they debuted in 2015, which means 6 years have passed, they still had no official color, no light sticks, no full-length albums, no nothing. And Netizen also pointed out that the promotion span of CLC was super short. And even though CLC members have multiple times expressed that they wanted to have some merch, nothing came out. Oh, and you remember the whole La Vie en Rose situation, where Cube sold the song to CJ E&M even when CLC members had all finished recording, and even spoiled some parts to Cheshires through live streaming? That was a whole mess. As if treating CLC bad for their whole career wasn't bad enough, Cube even claimed that they would no longer support CLC's development after February 2020. And though the claim didn't explicitly mention disbandment, everyone could understand their saying as, okay, because I'll be burnt to ashes by Cheshires if I let CLC disband, let's find another way of saying I want to get rid of this group. This vague future also accounted for the reason Elkie requested to terminate her contract with Cube beforehand. And if you follow CLC, you'll know how problematic this lawsuit was at that time. So, which do you think were the reasons these groups were ignored by the agency that poured time and money to debut them? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV, since we'll be back with more interesting videos. Thank you for watching.